Well, the day I first met Harold Pinter was in what we call the lower sixth form, which is the equivalent of grade 11 in high school. And he said to me, I think you'll be interested in this book. And it was Black Spring by Henry Miller. He was very keen on Henry Miller. He gave me the book. And the next conversation we had, he said, what do you think of the book? I said, it has a great many rude words in it. And he said, that is part of the whole point. So I didn't think our relationship was going to continue for another 60 years as it did, because it didn't start off wonderfully. But from then on, he was always a leader in avant-garde literature, avant-garde movies. He would take us to see Buñuel's Un Chien Andalou, and we'd watch that eyeball being slashed with a razor. And then he'd take us to see L'Âge d'Or and, Salvador Dali's thing. Then we'd go and see Orfeo with Cocteau. He just made Orfeo in those days, Jean Cocteau. And he'd made, in Orfeo, used a lot of sort of, not tricks exactly, but effects he'd used in Le Song d'un Poète, one of his, that went along with L'Âge d'Or and Un Chien Andalou, an Andalusian dog. My goodness me. So we got going on that way. And also Pinter had read James Joyce and Dylan Thomas and all kinds of chaps. So we used to go and listen to Dylan Thomas speaking in the park, and George Barker.
Dylan Thomas would speak in the park?
Well, there was Poetry Corner. So Dylan Thomas would get up, and then George Barker, another excellent poet, would get up. All kinds of chaps, and we'd go. We were about 17 or 18, and we'd go and listen to them, you see.
Oh, wow. And when Pinter's first play, did you have something to do with that?
Yes, he gave me the idea. He said, I've got this idea for a play. So I told a lot of lies at the drama department in Bristol. I was a graduate there. He said, I have this wonderful new play. And they said, how much will it cost to put on? Because they'd spent all their budget on passion plays and nativity plays. Beautiful plays, beautifully spoken by beautiful people. When I told them that the play would cost 1.9 to put on, the equivalent to approximately 48 cents, their enthusiasm absolutely peaked. And then I wrote to him and said, nobody had a phone in those days. Please write this play. He said, I can't write a play. I've only written a novel and a lot of poetry. But in the end, he did. He wrote it in 2 days, although he says in his own memoirs, he said 4 days. No, he wrote the room in 2 days, and we put it on. And then Harold Hobson, the leading drama critic, came and saw a production of it. And the difference was he saw the second production. The difference between the second production and my production was the chap who made the second production realized that Pinter was very important artistically, so laughter was absolutely forbidden. And the play was played with great gravity, and the audience had to sit there and made aware that they were taking part in a cultural experience. And the grim hand of reverence has, ever since those days, 60-odd years ago, throttled a lot of Pinter productions, just as the grim hand of reverence throttles Chekhov productions. You're not really allowed to giggle or laugh or feel particular warmth in Chekhov. No, it is a cultural experience. And the point of a cultural production is to try and kill it so that it is safely dead and suitable for well-funded productions. Because most of the arts funding in Canada and England and all over the world, I suspect, goes to safely dead productions of opera, ballet and theatre, in which the middle-class audience, whom I greatly revere, because something that is forgotten in avant-garde circles is, without middle-class bottoms on red plush seats, there would be very little opera or ballet or theatre in the world. And avant-garde theatre and avant-garde opera and avant-garde ballet depends on those middle-class bottoms. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a cultural experience. And one has to understand that why the middle class needs safety net theatre is because when one achieves a certain income, to achieve social respectability in some circles, not necessarily in motor manufacturing circles, and certainly in a lot of cultural circles, it's very important that one should be seen to have been, or one can talk about having been, at a ballet or an opera or a theatre production. And the more safely dead they are, the more unperturbed one will be by the evening events, and more the funding will justify itself.
Excellent. Let's take a look.